begging you, yeah. So stop these fucking wars, we are humans. I'm begging you, yeah. So stop this begging. Okay, we should have one, huh? Awesome. Can I see?
No.
Great.
No. Stop there.
I'm warm. I'm sweating.
You ready for some questions?
Yeah.
Let me check. So my first question is, how exactly did you overcome to not care what other people think of you? And do you sometimes still struggle?
I always struggle. Period. Of course, I always struggle every day with the fear of what people think of me, of being judged, of being misunderstood, of being seen for who I truly am. I guess the way I overcame the fear of being seen and the fear of judgment is realizing a couple of things, but like realizing on a way deeper level than understanding, like realizing on a body level. First of all, the first thing is, why would judgments and opinions of people that have not taken the path I'm on, that have not lived the life I'm on, that do not know what I'm feeling, that do not know what I want and who I am, would affect me in any way, you know? Because the thing is, nobody who's lived what you're living, nobody that's ahead of you will ever criticize you or judge you for trying to follow your path, to follow your heart. The only people who would do that is the ones whose life is so fucking boring, who's so fucking lame, that they've got nothing else to do than come at you and judge you for what you're doing, for the courage to, you know, show their insecurities and their comfort zone. Because when you do that, the reason why we trigger people so much once we become the most authentic selves is because we trigger these parts of them that don't have the courage to show up in that way. So when you do that, you will 100% trigger that. And another thing that I had to realize is that I don't need... another thing I had to realize is that in my journey, what I've experienced is that sometimes friends and family, they will not understand what you're doing, and that's because they have a certain projected image of you. And so once you start stepping into the most authentic version of you, they will be like, what the fuck is that? Who is that? And then they will start judging you and projecting their fears because they will think they don't know you anymore. While on the other side, I've experienced that strangers were my biggest supports. You know, people that didn't know me, they came to me and supported me the most. So I guess there's only one life. There's only one chance at life. So why would I let other people's opinions and other people's fears stop me from living this life? You know, I always try to get myself in the perspective. What if this was my last breath? What if I was lying down on a deathbed and I was thinking, would that fear make sense stopping me in my life? Would it make sense to let that fear stop me? Or would I regret that like heavily? And the only answer always is 100% I would regret that heavily. Not taking that step, not being myself, not having the courage to show up in that way. So it's as simple as remember you're gonna die sooner than you think, and remembering that you're alive in this moment, and then from that place you can do whatever the fuck you want. And you know, your dreams are always on the other side of those fears, you know, of those judgments. If you can let go of yourself. Another thing is like, really, I think the biggest problem is that we have such a big ego, and because we have such a big ego, we hide and we don't do our thing because we think, oh, they will judge me. They will see me, they will think of me. But if you let go of yourself and you let yourself die in the sense of your sense of self, your identity, if you forget who you are for a moment and you allow simply what is alive inside of you, what you want to express, what wants to be expressed through you to be, you'll notice how much freedom there is in that and how liberating it is. You know, another thing, you know, I always work with self-liberation. I even have this self-liberation framework, the art of being you. For me, it's all about that. It's about putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations where you feel uncomfortable sharing that part of you. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I'm like singing. That's why I'm showing up this way, because it is very uncomfortable for me. And I know that on the other side of that discomfort, there is my growth. On the other side of that discomfort, there is the version of me that I came here to be. So if I let that discomfort stop me, I would never be that person. I would never live that dream. I would never follow my heart. And I've got no time to waste on overthinking other people's opinions. I already got many fucking opinions in my mind. I don't need other people's opinion, you know, to fuck around with my head. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It still happens every day. I guess the difference between someone that is afraid of being seen and someone that is stopped by the fear of being seen is that the one is afraid, still fucking do that. You know, and then once you train to do that, the more you do it, the more you realize that you're safe in that expression. The more I showed up authentically, the more I saw that I'm still alive. Maybe a little bit of my ego died, but I'm still alive, I'm still here, I'm still breathing. Nobody has come and killed me for being myself. Nobody has come and shot me because I followed my dreams, I followed my path. And yes, people had judgments, people had opinions. You know, when I first started, when I was 16, I started TikTok, and you know, I was going to school and people were looking at me and they were like, the TikTok guy, and they were making like the influencer, they were making all these jokes. I even remember my dad who used to make these jokes, you know, when I was living at my parents' place, and every day I was doing one content per day. Every time I used to get out of my house to go into my garden to shoot a video of me speaking in front of the camera, my dad would make fun of me in a kind of way, oh, what are you doing? The influencer again? You know, like, and that might seem easy, but it actually hurt a lot. And he knows that, and we make fun of that because in the end, him judging me or in his way pushing me towards that direction actually helped me step out even more and be like, yeah, I'm gonna show you who's cringe. I'm gonna show you who's weird, and I'm gonna show you how I make it. And I'm not saying you should do what you do to show other people that you can do it. I read this quote the other day that really was resonating so much, and I fucking loved it. It's like, you know, some people would have this mindset of like, I want to get to the top to show people that I made it, you know? And then the other perspective is, you should get to the top so that you can see the world, not that the world can see you. And that was so powerful, you know, because in the process of getting exposed, you will get to know yourself. You will earn one super precious thing that's called self-awareness, because you'll get to test your boundaries, your fears, your insecurities, and not only test them, but overcome them. And the more you overcome them, the more newer comes, the more deeper fears comes, the more you get to know yourself, the deeper you come inside yourself, the deeper you come inside your life, the deeper you come inside your purpose. And for me, it's about purpose. And I feel every single one of us has been given a gift, a calling, a purpose. Let's call it a mission, a path, if you want to say it that way. And us not fulfilling that path because we are afraid is such a fucking waste of life's potential, such a fucking waste of God's gift. God's gifted me with something, with a set of cards that I'm here to use. And if I don't use them, I'm letting that role die in the world. And that the world needs that role. The world needs me as much as it needs you, as much as it needs everybody else. Another thing I had to realize that every single one of us came here with a very unique perspective. And that perspective is needed because that's how we contribute to the world. That's how we enrich the world's perspective. You know, it's like if truth is a big ball, you know, and we are all looking at the same ball from different angles. And because we're looking from different angles, lights shines from different perspectives. So we kind of see the truth in different colors, different shapes. But once all of us share what we see, we can come to a conclusion or closer to a conclusion of what that truth actually is. But if none of us do that, we will never find out. We'll never know what other people think. We never know how other people live life and see life. And for me, I guess my curiosity and my willingness to push myself towards growth is bigger than my fear. And I think that's what you should focus on. Making your willingness to grow stronger than your fear. Because once that willingness, that trust in yourself outweighs the fear, that's how you keep growing. That's how you go to the next level. That's how you go to the next step. And then you're always in the same fucking cycle. Another fear will come and you'll break through that fear. Another fear will come and you break through that fear. You know, I've broken through many fucking fears in this last years of doing this work. And I still find myself facing another bigger fear. And that's exactly the purpose. That's the process. That's how I grow. That's how I grow personally, spiritually, mentally, physically. It's the same thing in the gym, you know? When you start going to the gym, the challenge is lifting, 4 kilos per size. And then the more you train, the more the weight rises, the more the weight increases. Then first you can only lift 4 kilos, then 10, then 12, and then at a certain point you can lift 20. But at the same time, each time you'll have another struggle, another challenge to lift that heavier weight. And the same thing happens when you show up online. The same thing happens when you show up in life. This weight, the weight of fear keeps increasing so that you can keep getting stronger inside your truth, inside your power, inside your purpose. And I think that's what drives me, that motivation and that knowing that on the other side of all of these fears and insecurities and blockages, there is a higher version of me. There is a more purposeful version of me, and there is a more embodied, authentic, truer, abundant, magnetic, powerful version of me. And I'm going towards that version of me. I'm not letting the smaller version of me block me from going ahead. So yeah, I guess that's how I navigate the fear of being seen. I just move, and even though my voice is shaking, even though my body's not safe, I just keep going and keep showing that I'm safe in exposure, I'm safe in growth, I'm safe in being seen. And the more you do that, the more you realize there's nothing to fear, just a lot to love and to experience.
You were talking about quotes, and for me, quotes are always very inspirational because they point to certain projects or maybe ideals that you would like to have or accomplish, or the way you would like to feel. And they sound nice, but I think it's really hard then to turn them into reality, into your manifestations. And I think you live a different life than everybody else does. I would say it's luxury that you have built yourself to not having a 9 to 5. You have time to experience that and to train that and to live that. Others people don't.
Yeah, that's true. And there is a certain privilege inside the position I'm in, 100%, and I don't doubt that. And another thing that I had to realize in my life, it's like, people, God makes certain people beautiful or privileged, and what do we do with that? We just sit down and I'm so privileged, fuck off, I don't do it. No, take that privilege, that's your gift, and make sure you give back. Make sure you give that privilege back to the world. That's why I do the job I'm doing, because I know I'm privileged, and my only responsibility is to make sure I give back from that position, that privileged position, so that I can inspire people rather than bring them down. But at the same time, certain things that people don't see is that, yeah, it's true. I'm here now and I created this life where I don't need to work a 9 to 5 job, where living and having fun in my life is how I make money, and being myself is how I make money, and helping other people liberate and shine and open their true self is my highest passion and excitement, and that's how I make money. I make money going on stages and traveling the world, and that's super fucking cool. But don't forget that I didn't come from that. I come from a very normal family in Sicily, in Italy. We come from a very close-minded culture, and like any other dudes in my hometown, I was supposed to do the regular path, to take the regular way, I was supposed to go to school, to take a degree, to go to college, find a job, work in some company. Maybe because I'm privileged, then I would have got maybe in the top position and be like a CEO, director, which is great. But I just chose and had the courage to follow another path, to show that the world and myself that you can create your own way. So yes, I'm privileged, but I also want to recognize myself the courage of stepping outside of a regular path to follow my own irregular path. And in that irregular path, I found the closest path to my truth, the closest path to me. So I believe every single one of us, and of course there is certain positions from where we start, but I didn't start from a top position. I didn't have a rich family. I didn't have anyone truly believing in what I was going. When I quit school, it was big drama in my family. There was like, what the fuck? How you gonna do this? You're gonna end up in a gas station filling gas tanks. You're gonna end up, which is great jobs, but I was like, that's not what I'm gonna do, because I receive that I'm meant to do something different. I'm following that calling. I do think every single one, as I say it, has this very specific calling. And God is calling you inside your heart. It's not a conference call, It's not that He's calling you and your family and your friends and telling everybody where you're going. He's telling just you. And I guess that's what makes following your dreams, following your heart, hard. Because only you know where you're going. Only you see where you want to go. And that makes it hard to explain to others, Because when I started, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna do that. And my family was like, yeah, sure. It's tripping balls. he's dreaming again. And now I'm like, yeah, now I'm living my dream, you know? And that's something that you have to create step by step through the courage of showing up, through the courage of following that calling. So yes, I'm privileged, and I know that, and I recognize that, and I make the best of it in the sense of giving back to life, giving back to the world. But at the same time, I wasn't born with it all, and I created my path. So it did take some courage. And when it comes to quotes and blah, 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 it's all bullshit. The only thing that really changes your life is the steps you take. You can know how much knowledge you want, but if you don't have the courage to show up, you don't have the courage to take the next step, you're not gonna get anywhere. You can know all the most powerful quotes of the fucking world, but if you don't take the fucking next step, which takes courage, you'll get nowhere, you know? And I think that's something people need to realize, that the world is not being led by the most smartest people, but rather the most audacious people, the one who had the courage to take the next step. You know, there's a lot of incredibly, insanely smart, gifted people around the world that are hiding because they don't have the courage to take the next step, because they're blocked in the physical reality. They know a lot mentally, theoretically, they're super gurus and super incredibly smart people, but then you see who's leading the world. And it's not smart people most of the times, it's audacious, courageous people. You know, another thing I had to realize, that the more you own yourself, the more the world respects you, which is a funny perspective, you know, like the more you stand on yourself, inside your truth, the more the world will respect you, no matter what the fuck you're saying. It's about how you say it. It's about who you feel you are when you say it. That's what makes the difference. It's not even the words. It's like the confidence behind that words that make people listen to you rather than someone else. You know, because you can be the smartest guy ever and come there and be like, yeah, I think that, and people won't listen to you. And then there's the biggest cunt and idiot in the whole world and comes there and like, I tell you, blah, 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 and then people listen, and then people follow. Because as animals, in a survival way, we follow the most courageous ones, because those are the ones that are going to have the courage to hunt for us, you know, in a tribal way. Not the one who has the knowledge. Those will remain the shamans in the corner doing the firework, but who's gonna have the courage to go hunt for this world? And that's something I had to realize, that the best combination you can possibly have in this world is being smart and being courageous enough to act on that knowledge. Because you don't have the courage to act on the knowledge, you will die inside that knowledge. You will die super knowledgeable and super noble, but you will die and nothing will have changed in your life and you won't have had an impact in the world. And as I said, people that don't have the knowledge maybe you have, people that don't know what you know, they still have the courage to go there and without a clue say something. And because they say something, people follow. Understand how weird that is? It's like, it's a huge paradox. And when I realized that, I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna let my role be taken by someone else. I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna stand up, I'm gonna speak up, I'm gonna share what I know in a way that feels honest, in a way that feels authentic, in a way that feels true. And that's what changed my life. That's what brought me where I am today. Not knowing what I want to do, not knowing the quotes, but putting myself in every single uncomfortable step for me to move forward. And that's the same thing where I am today. I know where I'm going, I know what I want to do, I know who I am, but if I don't step here in front of this camera and speak these things to you, I'll get nowhere. You understand what I mean? It's the doing that changes everything. And when you're doing from a place of being, rather than being from a place of doing, which is a subtle difference, your life will change. Because you are doing things knowing that you are that you're doing, you know? If you want to be a leader in today's world, if you want to show up and lead people in whatever direction, whether that is back to themselves, whether that is in growing their business, whether that is whatever the fuck that is, if you know you are that leader, and if you fill yourself up with the feeling of being that person, and if you move from that feeling, and I say if you move from that feeling, that's when things change. Because you can sit in these feelings all day and the mountain will come to you, you know? That's another of the quote. If Maometto doesn't go to the mountain will come to Maometto. Doesn't always work like that. You have to take those steps and go to the fucking mountain, you know? So if you're stuck, take one step. Take one step, feeling where you're going, feeling who you are, and I promise your life will change sooner than you think, sooner than you realize. You know, another, I feel, big misconception in the spiritual world is this alignment. You know, everybody's talking about alignment nowadays. I'm aligned, I do my meditation, I do my routines, I sit down and I visualize and I manifest and I feel aligned, but nothing is changing. My life isn't changing. I'm like, great, That's because you have only one level of alignment, and there is two levels of alignments or multiple levels of alignment, but the two most important ones are metaphysical alignment and physical alignment. And when you combine those two, that's when you open the gates for your life to change, for your life to manifest into reality. And what I mean when I say metaphysical alignment and physical alignment, that basically means metaphysical alignment is on a mindset level, you know, on a knowledge level, like visualizing and knowing who you are, knowing where you're going. That's all metaphysical. It's in this metaphysical realm. You can't touch it. It's not concrete. It's nothing tangible. But the physical alignment is when you know who you are, you know what you know, and you move in that direction. You move like that person. You act like that person. You don't just meditate every day. You take one uncomfortable step forward in that direction. And once you know who you are and you take that step, bingo. That's how you move towards your life. That's how you shift and create life. That's how we become creators of our life. Not here, but through our body. It's our body that creates life. You know, women don't create life by thinking about it. They actually, it's a very physical act of creating life. And that's the same thing when it comes to changing our lives. It's a very physical act. It doesn't act in the mind. It starts from the mind and it happens through the body. You know, that's I think what people forget and misunderstand. That there's a physical component that's very concrete and tangible in this life. And if you don't put yourself in this comfort, you won't get anywhere. You will get stuck in these mind loops and games.
So I would say it's time to sing the essence that you're just talking about. What is your essence, and sing it out. Sing it out to the world.
You know, I wanted to sing these words, I wanted to sing these songs, but if there's really one thing that sound makes, is vibration. That vibration is what sound is made for. And when we, you know, every time we speak a sound, every time we emit a sound, there's a certain vibration and frequency that goes with that sound. So rather than speak words or song, I want to make sounds. That's my essence, you know, and the essence is this eon, you know, this eon. Eon, scientifically, is an immense amount of time, you know. That's what the eon means, A-E-O-N, eon. That's like about, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not wrong, 1 billion years, you know. That's it's like a unit of measure of time. And what I love about this word is that when you elongate the word eon, something very beautiful comes, which is the sound of light. The sound of light traveling. Because when you say eon, elongated, this is what happens. I feel nervous. You see, like that light, like that's like the sound of light traveling, you know, and that's my essence. That's what I am. I'm a spark of light traveling to this world. You know, like words and all this. It's beautiful. It sounds great, but the essence of who I am, the essence of what we are, is just a spark of light and sound and vibration traveling to this reality, this physical matter. So, You get what I mean? But you took me off guard. Like I wasn't prepared, I wasn't warm. It doesn't sound as good as you can get, but that's part of it. Not being perfect, not being prepared, and still taking that uncomfortable step. Do you think that wasn't uncomfortable for me to put myself in that situation, to make this weird sound? That's super fucking uncomfortable. But how can I speak about something and don't act on it? You understand? That's the whole fucking point. You know, that's the whole point. That feels uncomfortable, and I do it, and I liberate myself from the fear of being perceived, because who the fuck cares? That's the whole point. So get out there and I feel blocked. Yeah, and I'm just a fucking human! Human! That's what we are, fucking humans. So get all of that humanity out of you and play. You know, that's the art of being human. All right, I guess that's enough.
One word and one wish to the person that's watching right now.
One what?
One word and one wish. Dedicated to the person just watching it.
One word is courage. And the wish is that you may have the courage to remember what it means to be human. In all the potential of being human, you know? Because all those people that you see out there doing these amazing things, you know, maybe you have like an idol, like the best singer out there in the world. They sing these sounds and you're like, what the fuck is that? That's a human. And you are human too. That seed of potential, of expression, of art, of music, of vibration, of courage is inside of you as much as it's inside of them, you know? That human that plays soccer and basketball and business, all these humans that have these gifts, they are just unlocked the seed, the potential inside their human self. So my wish for you is to come back to your humanity, to remember how much is possible in being a human. And it's way more than we think. We forgot what it means to be humans. So my wish for all of us is, may we fucking remember what it means to be human. And play with that knowledge, play with that realization, and fuck everyone else who doesn't believe in you. Just do that yourself. Okay, backflip. You wished.
We could pretty much do that.
I can pretty much do that. Love you. You have any more questions?
None for today.
No? That's dope. Thank you. Thank you. You. Appreciate you. Okay.
Breakfast.
Breakfast. Let's have food. Mango. There's another human. Human. Come play with us. I'm getting cold. She's watching. She's like, what the fuck is this weirdo doing? What the fuck is this weirdo doing? It's just being human. That weirdo is being human. You know, all the craziness of being human, all the absurdity of being human. Okay. And that's a tree.